Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reacting to a video from Jordan Peterson. So before we get into it though, we want to ask you guys to please like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you to everybody for all the support, and we'll get into it.
I'm 55 and I've been working with men and women my entire life, and I've watched this and it's quite obvious. It's like at 19, it's all career. By 30, that's just not the case. It's not the case. I don't know if I've seen a single woman who I didn't think had a psychological problem, who hadn't seriously flipped in their attitude towards the balance of family and career by the time they were 30.
What Jordan is kind of illustrating here is that once you stay in that mindset for too long, and then you hit your 30s and 40s and you're like, oh shoot, I didn't even realize where I'm at now. And then and then you're just like, all this time went by focusing on this one mindset of just getting money, but deep down something's missing, right? And then you're like, oh, I should have been dating, I should have been married, I should have had kids.
And then you see lots of women who at 40 haven't had kids and perhaps wanted to, and that's not a pleasant situation. I was talking to a woman who is about 39, a professional woman, attractive, well put together, competent, well educated, successful in her profession, unmarried, in a relationship with an older guy, but unmarried, and desperate to have a child. She said no one ever talked to her about the fact that she'd actually want to have a family or encouraged her to think about doing that. It was as if it wasn't within the realm of possibility that one of the things that she might have the ambition to do would be to be a mother.
You don't even think it's another option to just like focus on family because no one ever told you any different. Everyone told you this is your one option. So run with it, and then that's it. You get older, right? And then you're like, oh shoot, but I still feel like, even though I was told this one thing, something feels wrong. Something feels off, right? And then I can't even imagine for the women that were told this for all their life. They hit 40, then you're like, I wish I knew, because then I would have done differently when I was younger, you know?
And that's just not acceptable. And it was like she woke up in her late 30s and thought, well, the first thing she thought was, this profession of mine is actually nowhere near as comprehensively fulfilling as the advertisements claimed, which is something that virtually everyone discovers as they move forward in their professional career. You know, I mean, the reason that you get paid generally for your work is because you're doing something that you wouldn't choose to do if you weren't being paid for it. And so the idea that your career is going to be the fundamental source of your fulfillment is true for a very tiny minority of people. And even with them, it's complicated. So she was tearful and upset about the fact that it took her so long to discover that there were other important dimensions to life, and that motherhood turns out to be, well, how many things do you do in your life that are fundamental, right? You have a career and your education, so that would be part of your career development. That's part of what makes you generally useful in society, and perhaps a place that you find some meaning and purpose. You have your friends, you have your family, like your parents and your siblings and so forth. You have your kids, you have your relationship. That's it. There's 4 things. Now, you know, you can expand that to some degree. You can have, maybe you're creative and you make good use of your personal time. There's other factors that aren't trivial.
The 3 main pillars in life are what? So it's health, wealth, and relationships. So if you're only focusing on the one area of, let's say, wealth, right? Of course, we all need money. We're not talking excess, just enough to survive, right? And to maybe do little few things that are enjoyable in life. So you don't need a lot to accomplish that. So for the people that are only focusing on their career and like getting money and whatever, you're gonna let the other areas of your life of like your health and then relationships suffer, right? Because you're only focusing on that, but then you don't feel balanced, and you feel like there's something missing, because guess what? You're only focusing on the one aspect of your life when there's other things that are also contributing for you to be happy.
Those 4 things are canonically important. You miss one of them and you're going to pay for it. And so our society needs to rethink our relative valuation of career versus motherhood. So we don't know how to solve this problem, but we could at least have an intelligent discussion about it, and we could start by admitting that the idea that most 19-year-old women are fed, which is that their career will be the primary purpose of their life, is actually a lie.
All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and end this video. I mean, this is the dynamic that we're seeing in the dating market, right? There's nice guys that are out there that will treat you well and, you know, making $50,000 a year. There's nothing wrong with that. And women today are not viewing those men as equal, right? Because women today are holding their degrees and their career at a high standard, right? So if a woman, for example, is making, let's say $70,000, $80,000 a year, she's gonna want a guy that's making equal or greater value, right? So she's gonna automatically think, if this guy's not making 80,000, then he's not on my level, right? When in reality, you should more look at the character of that man, the relationship skills with that man, is he a good father, right? Like there's other things that equal a good person versus him having a degree and making 80,000. And we're not saying money's not important. Of course, money is important, but there's other factors that are in that equation that equal to a great partner. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and end this video. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time.
Bye, guys.